Hi, my name is Jacqui-Lee Pryce and welcome to Shadowboxruk. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you'll be amongst the first to see our new content. Today's guest is a former 5 times England boxing national champion and a former Commonwealth Youth Gold medalist. He's part of the Northampton Massive, Eithan James. How you doing?
Very good, thank you.
In the bubble. I tell you what, it looks nice in there and all.
Yeah, now they've done us nice, put us up in a nice suite. Can't ask much more.
Yeah. So all going okay, just relaxing, I'm guessing. Everything's 100%, just waiting for the fight now.
Yeah, come down today, this morning, got here about, I think it was 1. We've got tomorrow as well, it's just chilling. Cut my weight for Friday, the weigh-in is, and then get ready to go on Saturday.
Turned over in 2019, if my recollection is right.
Yeah, September.
Wow.
September the 26th, no, it was 26th, was my brother's birthday. I had the debut.
Did you miss his party?
No, he was down there, he was loving it. All my sponsors were at the Royal Albert Hall. I was on a good card, to be fair, Daniel Dubois for my debut at the Royal Albert Hall, so couldn't ask much better. But he was loving it. He was getting all my sponsors and he was getting money off them. Like he was crying that it was his birthday, so he was sort of taking it from him.
So effectively, he was jumping on your bandwagon.
Yeah, he was definitely using me a bit for it, so he weren't complaining.
Fair play to him. Fighting at super lightweight, 4-0, out again on the 27th of March against Des Newton. Do we know anything about him?
I don't. I've seen him around. He's only lost to good opponents. He's been on the BT shows a couple of times, but nothing I should be too worried about. Obviously, I just want to take it as put a good performance in, and obviously work on the little things I've been working on in the gym, and then put a good performance in on the night.
Talking about your debut, I mean, amazing. I have to say, absolutely brilliant. Great defence, very confident, such a mature performance. I mean, you must have looked back at that and thought, do you know what? I did myself proud.
Yeah, 100%. It was obviously a big stage to have my debut on as well. So it was like, I was excited for it more than nerves. So that definitely played a part on it being edgy, where I knew the lad that I was fighting, he was a journeyman, not going to get it wrong, but he was a good journeyman. He comes for a fight, so he was definitely giving it. So I think that helped my performance as well. I don't like these journeymen that just take the shots because it's harder for me to get mine off. And so I need someone that's going to test me so I can show the best side of me.
I mean, to be honest, I think he did try and test you a little bit into the fight, but he just couldn't get his shots off.
No, 100. Yeah, he was. He would come and give it. He would throw a big right hand, and then because I was too quick to get out of the way, I was too busy avoiding him. He sort of avoided throwing, so he went on the back foot and made me sort of go on the front foot.
Yeah.
Which is I like on the back foot, making a miss, getting out the way.
To be fair, you most certainly did that. I mean, such a beautiful set of feet, I have to say. You know, and then there were some faces, aren't there, on the pro boxing scene, some very famous faces that are, you know, really, really backing you. That must be, you know, just such a confidence booster.
I've had quite a few compliments from a load of people, loads of top names. Like, obviously, we've got Kieran Conway. He was impressed with my performance as well. And being in the gym with him, that brings me on, spurs me on to want to be where he's at. But on the last fight as well, I got good words from Frampton and Haye. So obviously, I'm going to stick to what's doing me well and what's won me titles in the past, and I ain't going to come away from it.
Yeah, 100%. And do you know what? He's I interviewed Carl Frampton recently, and what a talent and what a humble guy as well. And so I think to get praise off somebody like that, and David used to box with. I actually was his sparring partner. So I'd like to think they know their boxing. Yeah,
so do I. If they're winning titles like that, it'd be a bit scary if they didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, fair play to you. Fair play to you. So, what is the story behind your alias, your ring alias, Jammy?
I've had it since the start boxing when I was 13. It was my granddad's nickname, and I just sort of took it on when I went boxing. And he passed away a couple of years ago. I was quite young when he passed away, so I didn't really get to know him like that. But I was close with him they told me I was close with him when I was younger, but obviously I can't remember that. But so I just sort of carried it on and it stuck. And if I ever get a close decision, then you know why, it's Jammy.
What a nice tribute also to your grandfather.
Yeah, definitely. He never actually got to see me box, so basically it's like having him there in the ring with me.
That's nice. So before I go any further, I have to say you are a legitimate prospect, because there are other things that you did in the amateur scene. You were a former European silver medalist, and you were 2 times Tri-Nations champion. And the reason why I say a legitimate prospect, because not everyone's able to make that transition into the pro scene well, are they?
Yeah, no, I had a good amateur career from when I was young. I won my first nationals in 2013, my first schoolboys. Went on to win 5 of them on the trot, so I was enjoying my amateur career. And then got the European silver when I was a junior. And then when I was a youth, went to Bahamas and got youth gold with a bunch of other lads. So I couldn't ask for a much better amateur career.
If ever there was an example of why boxing and boxing awards should be in schools, it's you. I understand that your PE teacher was the one that first encouraged you into the sport.
Yeah, it was actually my teacher that got me into it. I was a bit of a naughty child at school, so he would say if I behaved at the end of the week, he would take me on the pads during like breaking that. So I started behaving. He took me to start going to a gym, and that's what I did. I started off at Fire Cotton. I was there for a couple of years, had a few fights there, and then I moved to my main gym, which was Kingsley Boxing Club, and then that's where I won all my titles.
Yeah, Far Cotton's a good gym though as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they've had a couple of good lads out there, a couple of pros come out there. We had Ash Lane, he fought Kez Ashfaq not long ago on the AJ card. He was originally from Far Cotton when he was younger. Then you got the Fails actually come up through Cotton as well. So my family's got a lot of talent coming through.
Most definitely. So have you seen that teacher since, or have you been in touch with him to say, look at me now and this is all because of you?
No, unfortunately he passed away as well. So he had lung cancer when I went into secondary school, and then I had a email or a message from one of my old teachers to say that he passed away. So I didn't actually get to speak to him, but I tried to get in contact with his wife, but she wasn't really interested. Not in a horrible way. I just don't think she wanted to be brought back into it. Like obviously, so long after of where I am, because I've done everything since I went to primary school. So it's a bit of a hard to bring back something back.
Yeah, it's amazing though. I don't think sometimes coaches, teachers get enough credit for the influence they have on people's lives.
Yeah, no, teachers played a big part in my life. Even from secondary school, I always had the one teacher I'd go and speak to. I was actually a rugby player as well when I was at school. I was a good level rugby player, and so I had my teacher there. He was the same sort of teacher for me what I had from primary school to secondary school. So he was always on my case, wanting me to improve and behave so I can better my sport.
So what was the moment where you had to kind of make the decision between, you were good. My understanding was you were good at rugby, you were good at boxing. When was the moment when you were like, I have to make a choice now?
It was, one thing that happened, it was, I was playing at school, but I was also cutting weight. So all the other lads would be 80 kilo at 15 years old. And then there's me, a little skinny kid trying to make 52 kilo for the juniors. And then my last game I played, I was playing at school and some guy ran at me and just sent me flying. So I took my shirt off. I was like, nah, that's the end for me. I'm going to stick to boxing. I was good at both, but that's where my true love lied, boxing, and it paid off.
Yeah, most definitely. So there's been much discussion around, amateur boxers that turn over at sort of 17, 18, 19 and not have had, as much experience as a senior boxer. Can you tell us why you decided to make that choice and turn over pro?
Yeah, I actually had 1 year in the seniors at lightweight, and I was working at the time as well because I left school. But it was so hard I was going to work every day and then trying to come back and train twice a day at the gym. So it was a hard choice to keep staying with the amateurs. I would have liked to stay with the amateurs a bit more, but obviously my situations weren't the best for that. And I had one senior bout, and then I thought, do you know what? If I want to do this properly, I want to go at it fully. So I decided to turn pro, and that's basically it. I was coming home from work, and I was fed up, and my my boss from work, my life coach, he says he is. He said, you should fuck this off now. You should go and give it a try and start pushing on. So that's what I did.
Do you know what? You are actually an argument for turning over at such a young age, because watching you on your debut and watching you since, not only obviously have you grown, you seem incredibly confident in the ring, like at home.
Yeah, no. When I was so I had my pro debut at 19, so I was quite young. I weren't long. I only just turned 19 as well, so a week before. So turning over at such a young age, I think it matures you more as a fighter as well. So you're having to learn the pros. You're not a kid anymore. You're in with grown men. Mm-hmm. Even in the amateurs, you wouldn't be fighting 30-year-old men
exactly.
in the amateurs. So you're still sort of competing at your own age, even in the seniors. Like there wasn't that big of a gap. But pushing on like that is just like, it's give me a spark again. It's like it's more enjoyable. So I would say that's a big part in it, like enjoying it more, and everything's just such a big occasion. So if you're enjoying it, you're going to get the performances.
You're talking about enjoying it. Do you think you kind of have obviously lost the love for it, maybe because you were having to work and sort of, get to the gym after a hard day's, graft, basically?
Yeah, no, I've said it to my dad and I said it to my coaches. I wasn't enjoying training when I was in the seniors. So like when I won the youth title, and then I had a bad spell on 2 years. I got to a final, lost in the final and a split. And then I went to the seniors. I didn't get where I wanted to in the seniors on my first bout. I lost my first senior bout, to be fair, against a good lad. But then I just weren't enjoying the training, and I weren't enjoying being around the boxing. So when I decided to turn over, I started to enjoy it more again. It was like, it's completely different to amateurs, and being able to train full time, it was my job. So being able to do something brand new on a new journey, you're not at the top anymore. You're at the bottom. You're starting from the bottom again.
Yeah.
So having all that to go through your head, thinking I was up there and now I've got to work my way back up there. It's just made me more excited for every opportunity I get.
You are incredibly mature, and all the stuff that I've seen, interview-wise, you seem really unfazed. You seem very unfazed about let's say, the fame side of things. Are you one of these people that's just like, I'm just getting on with the boxing and whatever happens, happens?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like famous. Like, yeah, when I start getting a blue tick on Instagram, that's when I'll say I'm famous. But
wait your turn.
Obviously. Yeah, I need to wait. Some people have been waiting ages. But I wouldn't say I'm famous, but I'm at the bottom again. Even though I'm on big platforms like BT and with Queensbury, like I know I'm getting more publicity than most fighters my age on the pro scene, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and I've got a lot of work to do before then. So I'll start probably acting more famous when I get up there. But I'll definitely say I'm grounded.
Please don't start acting.
Nah.
Just be like, I don't know, Frampton.
I don't think it's in me, to be honest, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully someone will give you a spanking in sparring if you get out your lane.
Yeah, 100%. One sec. Can I just get my door? Sorry, someone's at the door.
What do you think you will miss the most from the amateur scene?
I'd say the travelling more. Like when I was getting to go away with in the England team, like I've been to some good places. I've been to Hungary, I've been to the Bahamas, we went to Wales for the Tri Nations, and I was actually on the undercard of the WSB series once.
Yeah, nice.
So like just getting to travel and going away to, like even just in the amateurs, like you'd go away every weekend. You'd be in Newcastle one week, you'd be down London the next week, and it's just the thrill of seeing everyone around. Or like just watching all the other good lads as well coming up through it. I said that's probably one of the biggest things I've missed.
Missing that completely. Yeah, that is. You've just brought back some memories, And in terms of the professional scene, what would you say to date has been the most amazing experience?
Oh, my debut at Royal Albert Hall. It was obviously it's a big venue to fight at, especially on my debut as well. So that was enjoyable, and I sold a lot of tickets for that one. So I had all my fans there. Every seat was good.
And what about the challenges? You know, have you sort of faced any challenges, or have you, you know, has stuff come up in the pro scene that you thought, oh God, I didn't think that would happen?
I wouldn't say I've had like problems or such as challenges. Like obviously I'm still early on, so everything's been like just working on little things for when I step up, and in my next couple of fights when I start fighting the better opposition, doing more rounds. But I've had little niggles, like I've had injuries where it would stop me from doing training, and like just little things on the week of the fight and stuff like that where I wouldn't normally do. Obviously, day before weigh-ins is completely different to the amateurs, so having to work around that was I enjoy it more. Obviously, you get to eat more of the day and the day before.
Yeah.
So,
I'm guessing that one of the big differences between the amateur and the pro scene, especially now, is social media. How are you sort of navigating that, training? I mean, you've had people coming in and out today, you know, during our interview, because it's quite busy. So it's not just training, is it?
yeah, no, it's completely. It's another side to the boxing world. People don't probably see it as being a chore, but like at the moment I'm enjoying it because obviously it's all new to me. But obviously when you get up there, probably top fighters are probably thinking, oh, not another one. But it's got to be done. It's like if people aren't seeing you on social media, then you're not going to be getting the big opportunities that you're wanting from your career. People aren't engaged with you, then you're not going to get anywhere.
One of the questions that I have about social media, do you think it's a plus or a minus for people? So you're a talented boxer. Shouldn't that be enough for you? Why should someone have to, you know, do the whole social media thing to sell tickets?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's a bit of it's like a bit of a negative. Like obviously, with the titles that I won, like I would have thought that you'd be up there, like from the top, from the get go. Obviously, not saying like world titles from like the first couple of fights, but obviously getting the recognition from people already. But I think it plays a better part for the people that aren't in big cities. Like obviously, I'm from the East Midlands, so East Midlands isn't very like a big area. So for social media, for us to get out there is like a good thing. Whereas people from London, like Newcastle and Liverpool and Manchester, they've got a big area to cover where everyone will know them. So whereas obviously in the East Midlands and Northampton, and like you're not going to have a lot of people that obviously you've got your own town, but out of that area it's very limited to who you're going to know and with your connections. So getting social media probably helps a lot.
Good answer. I've heard that one of your sporting heroes in boxing is Luke Campbell. Can you name someone that you admire outside of boxing?
Probably just my family, just like my dad, my mum, helping me out through it all, getting me into it, but like just helping me like do what I wanted to do. So obviously they would pay for the hotels to go away, they would pay for my kit and all this stuff in the amateurs. So with them two, yeah.
Yeah, nice. To be fair, I think they'll be putting their hand out now.
They want
the money back.
They can in a couple of years they'll be able to reap the rewards.
It was called investment.
Yeah, that's it. Investing. They probably didn't know it at the time.
Yeah,
but...
yeah. So listen, in terms of like, I guess the next couple of days you've got press and stuff like that. But what do you do to sort of, you know, have some downtime, some me time? Have you got any sort of special things that you do before a fight? I don't know.
No, not really. I've not got anything like that. I'll probably just hang around my coaches. Like obviously my coaches I've known since I was young anyway, since I was 13. So they've been around with me. So they're not coaches, they're mates. They're like family. So I'll just hang around with them, play a bit of FIFA. I brought the PlayStation down, so hang around with them, switch off until fight night, and then when we turn up on a day, that's when we switch on and go out and get the performance.
Yeah, and I don't doubt it. I really don't doubt it. Fight fans can catch you on Saturday the 27th of March on the Hutchinson Clark undercard. We cannot wait to see you perform.
Cheers, thank you very much, and I appreciate it.
So you take care and all the best, and yeah, good luck on Saturday.
Cheers, thank you.